Alright everybody, this is Kingdom Ability. My name is Carter. The question is, what is the quickest way to break down scar tissue without any type of medical devices, any type of external equipment, if you will? Well, that has to do with your body's regenerative capacity to suffer and deal with adaptation, forced adaptation. What do I mean by this? When I was 17 and had my massive, horrific knee injury, I was then left in a scar tissue encasing, if you will, from a cast for about a month, then PT, and they only drove it home. They only got rid of about 50% of the scar tissue, so I still had a massive lack of range of motion in my knee, going from the cast, from the surgery, to doing the physical therapy for 6 months, but only did it to such a degree. I was doing something without realizing it. I was slowly but surely putting strength back onto my left leg through just doing simple things like squats, or trying to get down as far into a deep squat as I possibly could. And I noticed gradually, despite what the medical literature suggests, I was actually forcing my body to break down that scar tissue, but in a way that I didn't quite understand. I just figured, oh, I'm putting strength on, so eventually it's forcing my body to break down the scar tissue, but I didn't understand the actual mechanism of action, and that's what I'm trying to really drive in, really drive it into, so that you understand this. If you want to break down scar tissue, which if you've gone through a surgery, you're going to want to break down scar tissue. So, all right, so we're going to act like my knuckles are the fulcrum of a joint. So, like, say they're my legs, for example. So, say you've only got this much range of motion. Okay, let's go with these knuckles instead of these knuckles, since you can really bend these, okay? So, who cares? That's a middle finger, okay? That's not what this is about. Anyways, without going on any more tangents, say you're completely stiff, okay? We're standing up straight right now. We go into a squat. We've only got this much range of motion, okay? That much range of motion is all we got. Just pay attention to these knuckles, not these knuckles that are curling, just these knuckles. We're going down into a squat. We're about right here. After the surgery, after the physical therapy, we can't go down any further. We're stuck like this the rest of our lives because it's been 6 months and the scar tissue is now set. So how exactly did I do that then? By putting a load through a given range of motion and getting down as far as I possibly could, not to the point where it was piercing pain, although that is an option, though I would not recommend it, because the goal is as little pain as possible or pain-free. So we're going to go just above the point to where it's going to feel uncomfortable. It needs to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but not painful. Okay, just like with exercise, the harder and harder it gets, it becomes more and more uncomfortable. So we're going to go to a point where there's a decent amount of discomfort. Nothing's going to make you cry, nothing that's painful, but pretty darn uncomfortable. From this point on, you can do one of two things. You can either contract from this position and go back up, and then go back down, get right back into that position, but make sure to contract through that position. When you load the joint at a range of motion to its max ability, you're pumping it full of synovial fluid, super nutrient-dense blood. So you're helping to regenerate the joint. But this is where it gets interesting. When you take it to failure at that range of motion, you can also perform static holds. Static holds are incredible for doing this. When you have a position locked in like that for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, the entire time you are pumping that joint full of that nutrient-dense, life-giving blood. It's going to provoke something to the joint, especially if you take it to failure. Failure is probably the best way to actually do it. You force the scar tissue. You force your body to begin to get rid of that scar tissue, because the joint is like, hey, we need to go down further. We need strength here. This scar tissue is not allowing us to do this. We need to begin to break this down, because otherwise we will not be able to do this again. So we have to get stronger. We have to increase our range of motion, because clearly something's going on up there. Clearly, we need this level, we need this range of motion, and that's how it works. You are forcing that adaptation. You are forcing nutrient-dense blood into there, and you're forcing your body, you are telling your body, we have to break down the scar tissue in order to do this. So eventually, you're going to, over time, it's not going to happen overnight, you're going to be able to go like that, all the way. And that's what happened to myself. I had about, if I were to bend my knee back, Really, and make it painful, probably about that much. But this is where I was stuck at for months and months and months and months and months. It wasn't until I realized what it was I was doing and then really began to hone in on it and really go hard with it. Mind you, I of course don't exactly I didn't used to respect my body as much, in that I would just really torture it to get what I wanted as quickly as possible. It was really immature, not the smartest thing, but it worked. I'm not going to recommend that to you, and I would never do that to you. It's pain-free. A little bit of discomfort, but there's no pain. That's the whole point of Kingdom Ability. It's pain-free functionality. We got slowly, boom. My range of motion with my knee is absolutely incredible. And especially given what I can now do with this level of range of motion, I have Olympic levels of mobility, and that is not to boast. He taught me this. Jesus taught me this. I can teach this to anybody, and I'm gonna need to teach this to anybody, because so many people are locked up with so much scar tissue, but we have the solutions. We have the solutions. You're not stuck with it the rest of your life. Scar tissue is there in order to hold things together. It's painful, it sucks, but it's there for a reason. So if you send your body the signal, hey, scar tissue, we don't need you anymore. As a matter of fact, we need you out of the way because we need to be able to do this. Your body starts to break it down. You are forcing the adaptation. Your body is miraculously and so beyond complex, beyond comprehension as to the intelligent design that went into it. You're being lied to if you were told that your scar tissue is set for life. If you did not break it all the way down within that 6 months period and now it's set scar tissue, that's a lie. It's not. I proved that wrong. I was told I would never be able to do a full deep squat. Once I was done with 6 months of physical therapy, I was told I could not do a deep squat the rest of my life. I was actually told that I would be able to feel the pressure of the weather as I got older. Yeah, I didn't like that. So, I didn't give up. 17 years old, now 22. I have full range of motion. I was told I would never be able to do a deep squat, and what I can do with my legs is absolutely incredible because I've accessed that range of motion. I've broken down all the scar tissue, and I can teach you how to get rid of it as well. It's so important. There's no reason for you to keep that scar tissue on you. It's there for a reason. So if you tell your body, we need to get rid of this, there's no longer a reason to have that scar tissue, we can get rid of it. It won't happen overnight, but we can get rid of it slowly over time, pain-free. We will get rid of it. Okay? We will get rid of it. Have a nice day.